This shocking photo was taken in 1904, when the Congo was under Belgian rule. Here, Nsala sits before the tiny hand and foot of his 5-year-old daughter. Force Publique soldiers killed his family, then cooked and cannibalized them. The image exposed the cruelty of Leopold's rule. This shocking photo shows Isekansu, a Congolese man punished by colonial sentries. They said he brought too little rubber and mutilated him as a warning. Hands were sometimes cut to spread fear and to claim bullets were not wasted. The chicotte was a whip made from hippo hide. People were beaten for refusing orders or missing work. The lashes cut deep and left scars for life. This picture shows how fear and pain were used to force labor. Workers went deep into the forest to tap vines for latex, gone from home for days. Rubber dried on their skin and had to be torn off, causing wounds. Some villages were held to push quotas. This scene shows how the chain began. After scraping latex, workers heated and smoked it to make hard rubber. Each lump could mean fewer beatings, at least for that day. As demand for bike and car tires grew in Europe and America, quotas rose and the suffering grew too. This is King Leopold II, who controlled the Congo Free State from 1885 to 1908. He ran it like a private business. Rubber and ivory made him rich, while people in Congo faced forced labor, beatings, and hunger. This face stands behind much of the pain you've seen. Men built a rail line to bypass the river rapids. It linked the port of Matadi to Leopoldville. Work was deadly: heat, disease, and harsh treatment. But the track moved rubber faster to ships, feeding the system that hurts so many. These guards stand with rifles to control roads and river posts. Their job was to force people to bring rubber, collect taxes, and keep order. For many villages, a visit from sentries meant fear, hostages taken, beatings or worse. A colonial court in Boma sentences a man to death for cannibalism. The room shows a clear power gap. European officials judge a Congolese prisoner. Courts claim to bring order, while forced labor and violence continued across the colony. European expedition teams mapped rivers, marked trails, and claimed land for the state and companies. They traveled with armed escorts and porters. Their paths opened the way for posts, rubber collection, and tighter control over people. A formal troop review shows the power of the colonial state. Officers inspect ranks, flags, and rifles. These parades were meant to impress and to warn. Behind the ceremony stood a system that used soldiers to collect taxes, push quotas, and keep control. Boma was an early capital of the Congo Free State. Here, soldiers line up for a grand review. Uniforms, drums, and careful orders send a message. The state is here, and it is strong. For many people, such scenes meant fear rather than safety. This regiment stands in formation before a top official. In towns like Stanleyville, troops guarded posts, escorted officials, and enforced rules. The neat lines in this photo hide a hard truth. Force was a key tool of colonial rule in the Congo. A river steamer waits as the Commissioner General departs. Steamships were the lifeline of the colony, moving soldiers, officials, and rubber along the Congo River. Each voyage helped extend the state's reach deeper into the interior. A group of Europeans poses in Stanleyville: officials, traders, or missionaries. Photos like this show the everyday face of empire: offices, posts, and riverboats. But that normal life rested on forced labor and strict control over local people. This photo shows people sitting with bowls under the trees at Boma. They are waiting for food rations from the state office. Food was sometimes their pay, and also a way to control them. If you followed the rules, you ate. If you resisted, you could be punished. At the port, workers load and carry goods to riverboats. Rubber and ivory went out. Guns, cloth, and tools came in. The river linked posts to the sea, so trade and the system of forced work could move faster and reach farther. Inside a busy mill, men cut long boards with big round saws. Steam belts turned the blades. Heat, dust, and noise fill the room. This wood built posts, boats, and crates. The scene looks modern, but the work was hard and dangerous, and it served the colonial system. Workers and European supervisors stand by a large press. Here they printed forms, passes, tax papers, and reports. Paperwork sounds small, but it powered the colony, counting workers, tracking quotas, and spreading rules. Words on paper helped enforce control, along with guns. Mission schools taught skills like sewing. Some lessons helped people get work, but they also fed the colony's needs: uniforms, clothes, and bags. Missions called it civilizing, yet the training often served the same system that forced labor. Carpenters plane boards and build tables at a mission school. Learning a trade could help a little, but much of the work supplied posts and stations. Even useful skills were tied to the colonial system. Nuns teach weaving on simple looms. Students make cloth for uniforms and bags. Schools call this civilizing, yet many lessons serve the needs of the colony more than the needs of the people. Workers balance on a narrow wooden trestle as rails cross the forest. This line let trains bypass dangerous river rapids. Building it was hard and risky: heat, mud, disease, and falls. But faster transport pushed more rubber and ivory to the coast. The photo shows how the land was changed to feed the colony's trade. A European rides in a handcart while porters pull and push. Trips like this mapped paths, opened posts, and carried taxes and orders between towns. The scene shows a clear power gap. One man sits in comfort while others labor. Travel like this helped the state tighten control over the region. Drums and songs fill a courtyard. Even in harsh times, music carried stories, news, and hope. This scene reminds us that Congo had rich culture and strong community life before and during colonial rule. E.D. Morrow was a British journalist who exposed Congo abuses. He used reports and photos to rally support. His work pushed Belgium to take direct control from Leopold in 1908 and promise reforms. A group of European officials pose in white suits and sun hats. A small dog sleeps at their feet. These men signed papers, set taxes, and sent orders to posts and soldiers. From offices like this, rules were made that controlled work, travel, and punishment across the Congo.